I used to think my evenings were wasted. I came home from work and I was tired, exhausted, and everything that I wanted to do was just lay in bed, maybe do some chores, and that was about it. Basically, I always waited for the evening to pass by so I could start another day. This is why I've gathered a list of all the things I like to do after work, school, or uni. In this episode, we'll touch on evening funsies, the little activities that I like to do after work, in my case, and girls' nights. It's basically same, but with a friend, because I think after home office days, I really miss people, and then I do like to spend my evenings with my girls. So, hello everybody, welcome back to Big Sister Chats. This is the podcast where we talk about all things mental health, physical well-being, and growing in life. Now, get comfortable or pretend that we're on a phone call like siblings who talk about life. This is basically how I want this podcast to feel like a place where we can share, or maybe where you can share your worries and I can offer my life experience and my advice and hopefully make you feel a bit better. Before we dive into the episode, there's a small chapter called If We Were Having Coffee. It's inspired by a newsletter from the Bliss Bean, if anybody knows her. And I just want to update you what's been going on in my life. So, if we were having coffee, I would tell you that I visited my best friend in Germany. And, okay, now for everybody who's listening, my light just went out. I hope it's still cozy anyways. Actually, we are long distance friends, and so for us it's pretty much normal to see each other like 2-3 times a year, as sad as it sounds. But I feel like every time we see each other again, it's like I don't know, we've seen each other yesterday. It's crazy. It was a much needed trip. Now it's almost been 1 year actually since I saw her, and it was a nice week. And I would tell you that on the 1st of June, I set a goal to write 100,000 words this year. I mean, the rest of the year, let's say that way. And it sounds like a lot, but for all the writers out there, you know that you might know that there's challenges like NaNoWriMo or something like that, where you already write like 50,000 words in 1 month. So 100,000 words in a year isn't that much. If I break it down, I try to write 4-5 days a week, and that's about 580 words per day I'm writing. So it's okay. And I just reached 25,000, so 1/4 is done. And yeah, I feel like I'm on a good path. It's all working out so far, and I'm really excited to finish draft 3 of my novel, which I'll eventually tell you about. So now, if we were actually having coffee. Maybe I should rename this format because, I mean, this podcast should feel like we're sitting together in, comfortable chairs like I'm in right now, or on a big bed on a sofa. So maybe it's life catch up after 1 week of not seeing or hearing each other. So maybe if we were sitting down together and have tea or a hot chocolate or whatever you like. I would also love to know what's been going on in your life lately. There seems to be a new Spotify feature where you can comment directly under the episodes, or you can comment on YouTube or on Instagram and tell me your life update, what's been going on in your life lately. Now, let's start with the episode.
I swear.
Welcome to Big Sister Chats, the podcast where we dive into all things mental health, physical well-being, and cultivating a positive mindset. Whether it's about growing in life or tackling everyday challenges, I've got you covered. Growing up with 3 brothers, I always wished I had another woman to turn to for advice. If you've ever felt the same way, you're in the right place. Let's get started with today's episode. Let's start with evening funsies. I like to have something to do after work each day. It helps me a lot to plan out my week on Sundays, but sometimes I also just like to check my list during the day and see, something. I'll choose something for the evening, so I'm not just laying around doing nothing and waiting for the evening to pass by. And what I do most of the times are podcast walks, especially because I work an office job and then I'm sitting around most of the day. And yeah, I told you once, I tried to get 10,000 steps a day. And if I haven't reached that, then I'll do a podcast walk. I would recommend you some podcasts, but I'm mostly listening to them in German, which helps sometimes when, there's not so much to think about when you listen to podcasts in your native language. And so I won't recommend any to you. But I like that. Just put in your headphones, walk, and listen and indulge or listen to music. I don't know. It depends on the day. Then, what I would have loved to do, but maybe that's something for you, is roller skating. I mean, now, especially in spring, summer, and autumn, I feel like it's so fun. And I remember seeing a lot of videos about, and I was also watching a lot about that, people who are doing roller skates or maybe just skating, and they can do tricks and dancing and all of that. I really like it. And I also like ice skating, but that's only starting in November, so that's like the alternative. You could go to the cinema or do like an at-home cinema, which is, I guess, kind of similar to watching Netflix, but you can make it an experience. And then it's not the same. Let's say it's not the same. You can try picking a new hobby. I'm also trying to do something new, like once a month. I was thinking maybe chess or something like that. I don't know. It's something, I guess, that's rather easy to learn. You could take language classes or classes in general. There's a lot of things like Skillshare, I think, and it's not sponsored, but I feel like there's so many classes out there, and there's free classes too on YouTube and everywhere nowadays. So I guess taking classes could be fun, and then, yeah, finding some time, I don't know, and yeah, do that, I guess. Then something that's close. You could try BetterHelp sessions. BetterHelp is online therapy, and I feel like it's really important, and you could consider that. There's, I guess you could call it single lessons, where you're just meeting one-on-one with a therapist, or there's group video calls, I would call them, about topics. And I feel like that's, yeah, I feel it's a good thing to do or to consider. And it's a good way to spend an evening and to just calm down. Also, if you feel like there's been going on a lot lately or during that day, meditating, breath work, or yoga can really help and be good. And yes, I feel like when the days are so loud and crowded, it's sometimes good to just sit somewhere and take, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes to yourself and just do something that calms you back down. And then you can go on doing the tasks you maybe should do, like cleaning or whatever, with a better mindset. You could also try making a schedule and like plan your hobbies out, like going to the gym, taking dance classes, or climbing, and then be like, okay, I'll go to the gym each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after work, and try sticking to it. I mean, that could also work. It doesn't work for me because, as you might know, I'm definitely an early bird. I love the mornings, and I couldn't just plan out my evenings like that. I'm too exhausted, and I wouldn't stick to it. Let's be honest. If I would say, "Oh, I'm going to the gym each day after work," no, just no. It doesn't work like that. You could make a. Do you say make? I guess have is the correct word. Have a self-care night or a reading night. I have my e-reader here again for my notes, and I guess I was telling you, I really didn't like the idea of e-readers because I love physical books so much, but it helps. I'm reading so much more with the e-reader because it's so lightweight and I can just take it everywhere, and yeah, I guess that's nice. And then self-care nights are always great. Taking a long shower, doing skincare, all of that, and just that. And I also have, like, if you search on Spotify, there's like self-care playlists or Sunday reset playlists and all of that, and they're so good. they calm me down, and I can only recommend them. Then secondhand shopping, I guess, if there's secondhand stores open after work for you. But that's nice. Just not always shopping for new things, but also looking through these. And they're so special and nice things. I wish I could show you. There is a vase up there. I was getting myself sunflowers last week, and they were, after they weren't pretty anymore, I dried them, and now they're up there in a pretty vase that looks like it came straight from Italy. It's so pretty. And I found that yesterday, secondhand shopping. So that's that. You could make a, how would you call it, like art evening? But I don't mean like I mean, you could also make art, but I mean like going to the theater or watching dancers or something like that, like seeing other creative people. That inspires me a lot. Also, like musicals, operas, whatever. Just seeing people act or do something they love is really great and inspiring. And there's cheap tickets for some things, so that's really, really nice. You could try to go somewhere new, like a coffee shop, or I was also going to the library now. I mean, now it's not a new place anymore, but it was. And yeah, that's also something I can definitely recommend because, I mean, depending on where you live, there might at least be one new place you haven't seen yet. And then you can combine that again with, I don't know, I always combine going to coffee shops with writing, but might be something else for you. Then you could take yoga classes. For us, there's a lot of classes on like the beach, and that's really nice. Or I saw like in big cities, there's sometimes rooftop yoga that also sounds so fun. And I mean, art classes, same. We have something here that's like painting in the dark with UV lights. And I mean, sounds so fun. And as said, I also made a list for girls' nights. And I've broken them down now because there were so many ideas. And now I just picked the best of the best, which is a theme night. We were once doing like a Las Vegas casino night, and then we would dress up and everybody would bring snacks or drinks or something. And I mean, depending on the theme, you could do a picnic, maybe either on the kitchen floor or outside on the beach or in the woods somewhere, whatever fits the theme. Maybe on the balcony. I don't know. We would watch movies. There's this thing that's called, I guess, PowerPoint karaoke, I guess, where you're doing different PowerPoints on topics, and it's so fun. And then, I mean, for Las Vegas, of course, we were playing a lot of card games and all of that. But you can choose. And I guess it's so fun, like dressing up and having a theme and then planning that out. Maybe it's something for Friday night. But still, I really like the idea of that. You could also, I mean, do board games or games in general. There's even, if you don't have any board games at home anymore, there's like stores where you can go to where you don't even have to pay. They're public, and then you can just get drinks there, and them you have to pay. But for the board games, you're not paying actually. Or you could do things like bowling or something, some group activity, and that also, I mean, it sounds so fun to me. I think there's no bowling around here, but if you have the right people for that, sounds like a lot of fun. You could do things like, I mean, just co-working is nice, I guess. I'm doing that a lot of times because I'm working on my personal projects after work, and it's hard sometimes to get motivated. And then I like being with people, and we're sitting in a coffee shop and we can talk about it and we can work, and it's so much more motivating. You could also do like other things together. You could read together, like join a book club or something. You could do yoga together, go to the gym together, whatever. Like, I feel like it's better or easier sometimes to get motivated if you're two or more people, I guess. You could do a spa night together, which is similar to a self-care night. And that's one of the things you can actually do with long distance friends too. We would sometimes do that, like video chat and then have a spa night and just chatter all night long, which is really fun. I like it. And you could do vision boards together or bucket lists. We're doing some at the beginning of summer, and maybe now that summer comes to an end, we should also do like bucket lists for autumn, but also vision board. I really like vision boards, and I'm always setting them as my home screen. So maybe I'm doing an autumn vision board with my friends again. That would be really, really nice. Yeah, you could do group sports like volleyball, tennis, or something, like join a club. That's nice. I mean, it's probably a fixed schedule again, and you have to be the kind of person for that. But all in all, I can recommend that. You could go visit another city, which is probably also more for weekends now that I'm considering it. But yeah, I mean, that's something. And photo shoots, that's nice. I feel like nowadays phone cameras are so good that you don't need a professional camera. And if you have one, even better. There's so many things to learn with a professional camera, but there's a lot of people who want to learn, and then you could just, if one of you has one, you can teach each other and then take some great photos, or just do it with your phone, which is also great. And I feel like I've said that already. For the theme evenings, I wrote down you could do something. For special events, you could do some like Halloween, or like for football, when it's like football finale, would make sense to make a theme evening about that. Or if it's in your country and there's a team playing that you really like, you could make that a themed evening. Or like karting, like Formula 1 or something like that. That's all. I mean, there's so many things that are going on, and if you're interested in something and then an event comes up, or like, I don't know, Christmas is also like that, and then you can make a theme evening about that. It doesn't have to be casino or picnic like ours was. I just wanted to make the outro, and I saw on my last slide that I forgot something. You could make like bracelets or necklaces or something. There's places, I mean, you could do that at home for sure, but there's places where you can go and be artsy and crafty, also for pottery or something. And I guess it's really nice when you do something together, and then it's the memory of that, and each time you wear it, or maybe you're gifting it to each other, then you think about each other and this day that you had together. I really like the idea of that. So, but that were all the ideas I had now. And as said, what helps me a lot is planning my week ahead on Sunday. Maybe I'll do a Sunday reset episode once, so you know what I'm doing there. And then I'm just checking how many days. Maybe I have something planned already with friends, or I'll check which are my office days and which are my home office days, and I try after office days I'll most likely work on personal projects at home and try to get my steps in and all of that. And if it's a home office day, I'll try to meet with a friend afterwards. So I'm actually seeing people in real life on that day. And then I'm planning my week out like that, with all the things that I have and that I want to do. And it's really nice. And now there's something to look forward to each evening, actually. And yeah, I hope you liked this episode. If this helped you in any way, then be sure to subscribe to this podcast, leave a rating. I would really, really appreciate that. And we'll see each other in the next episode. So don't forget to get comfortable then and comment down below if you have any suggestions or worries or something for future episodes. Don't forget to check out Instagram at podcast_Big Sister Chats. And that's that. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye bye.